how do I love Allah? Where can I find this love? Or how should I make my intention when giving something or doing acts? Mhm.
MashaAllah, the fact that you're asking about the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already tells me that you are, mashallah, on your way, if not already there, mashallah. The thing about loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and about intentions is an amazing thing. I love the concept of intentions. Look, every book of fiqh, many of which are behind me right now, starts every section of every chapter literally starts with intention. Right? Because we know the famous hadith of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam, "Innal a'malu binniyat," right? That every action is done with intention, has to be done with intention for it to count. And so, what a beautiful thing when it comes to acts of khair, acts of good. Here we learn that unlike some of the acts of worship where you have to have intention, right? You can't just, aimlessly face any direction and sort of just pray and it counts. You actually have to have intention to pray and then face the correct direction of the qibla and so on. But when you do acts of khair, it actually turns out they all count. And that's a beautiful thing. It's a really beautiful thing. I want you to think about that when you do anything that you do, have a general intention at the start of your day. Literally at the start of your day. And say, Ya Rabbi, my intention is to love you and to love the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and ask that all your actions be aligned in that way. It's a beautiful thing because subhanAllah, we have these ahadith of the Prophet ﷺ that talk about even a smile is charity. So every smile that you give, right? To first your family members, because charity starts at home, right? So when you smile at the members of your family, the children, the elders, your spouse, whoever, parents, whoever is there, right? That starts the day with loving Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and doing these actions to love Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then you open your door and you head out to the neighborhood, you say hi to the neighbors, right? And they may not be a Muslim or maybe they are, but whatever it is, even just the warm greeting, the safety that you've created from neighbors, right? Touches on another hadith that talks about that a believer is one whose neighbors are safe from them, right? Then you go out into your car or into your walk of the day or onto the public transportation, and every step or every mile or every couple miles or whatever it may be that you're taking, if you do all of that with intention of wherever you get from point A to point B is a form of worship out of the love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it counts. So your commute in traffic that you dread suddenly becomes something that is actually counted for you and not against you. There's no more road rage or kind of cursing at the person kind of cut you off, but rather you realize this is actually because my intention is to go to work or to drop my kids off to the school or to this program or to go to the community service or whatever it may be, and all of that, then the distance that you travel to get there also counts, just as the action itself. And subhanAllah, even when you make an intention and couldn't fulfill it, because let's say you came down with the flu, may Allah protect us, right? Even when you couldn't fulfill it, you still got the hasanat for it because you merely made the intention for khair, for good. SubhanAllah, Allah is so kind with us, so generous, truly with us. And that itself should increase all this love for us. So what I encourage you to do is what we would call in our field a cognitive reframing. Try to reframe the very things that you're doing, and then using the other word that I use, a psycho-spiritual reframing of saying, Ya Allah, everything I do from the minute I wake up, from the minute I go to sleep, all of it can actually be counted as forms of worship with the correct intentions. And so try to find a way to reframe everything you do, even the things that you don't really like washing dishes, right? And so you're sitting there at the dishpan and you say, so that Allah loves a clean place and the angels are attracted to what is clean, and I need to feed this family or myself. And so therefore, all of this is done in worship of you and love of you, Ya Allah. So therefore, it counts as a form of love. So reframe, psycho-spiritual reframing, inshallah ta'ala.